One thing most communities and neighborhoods could use more of nowadays is connection. Something not controversial that can bring people together while they still remain safely apart.
A woman in Westbrook has figured out a way to do just that. 207's Beth McAvoy shares this story of tiny proportions.
In a world thirsty for connection,
We've been quite isolated. It has been really difficult.
a woman has planted in her front yard a bit of magic.
Hi, it's good to officially meet you.
I know, you too, Laurie.
It's casting a spell on the neighborhood and attracting an inquisitive audience.
We come see the Fairy House. It's something that he looks forward to almost every day if we can get out here.
No matter the temperature, Andrea McGowan brings her 4-year-old son Asher nearly every day to peek inside the small Sprite cottage.
Look, what is it?
Today, there's a gift just for Asher.
Ooh, a book. What do we say to the fairies?
Thank you.
That was really nice of them.
Yeah.
If anybody asked him, hey, Asher, what are you going to do today? He's going to say, we're going to go see the Fairy House. You know, that literally, it's the highlight of his day a lot.
Corona happened, and we needed a project, and I had a vision. We wanted to take down the front tree in the yard.
For Laurie Basinet,
I do fairy hair. I love fairy hair as well as fairies.
fairies are a way of life.
You know, we got little fairies everywhere. We just love it. It brings us joy.
With the help of her husband, she tore down their tree this summer, and Laurie used her magic touch to create something from a fantasy.
When we first started coming through here, it was just a tree stump.
People in the neighborhood would go by,
We actually got to watch it transform.
you know, follow the progress.
We saw the roof go up and the chimney and the door and the flower beds.
The people that bring their little girls or little boys here.
It's been a lot of fun to see it become a magical little house for fairies.
That's what it's about.
Word spread.
Because we're all stuck inside, you know, doing not what we used to do. Our children are not where they used to be, and you know, while the adults are feeling it, I think the children are feeling it a lot more. So to be able to bring your child over here and check out the Fairy House, and it just brightens their day.
People have come as far as Kennebunkport to visit the pixies and gnomes living on Woodland Road, but it's one fairy fan who Laurie looks out for the most.
His mom and Asher walk up here. I see them out here all the time.
Asher, he's a 4-year-old little curious boy, a lot of energy.
Asher recently left a letter for the fairy home builders.
Fairy House mail, and that's where I received Asher's letter. He thanked us very much for building such a special place that he could come to every day and check out what's new and what's changed.
Asher and his family have been more isolated than most during the pandemic.
Asher was born with congenital heart and lung disease. So, you know, we've had our challenges over the past 4 years with him in and out of the hospital.
Asher's dependent on supplemental oxygen he carries around in his little red backpack.
He's growing. He's, for the most part, really healthy little guy. You know, without the backpack or the oxygen, you might not even know that, you know, he was had any congenital, you know, disease.
A heavy burden on shoulders so young.
Up until about a year or so ago, he wasn't able to carry it himself. So he's gained a lot of freedom from his little red backpack there.
Freedom he uses to explore a place that has become one of his favorites.
It's been kind of a little light, this little fairy house here for us to see.
If we harvest what we sow from the distance of her front window,
They can spend as much time out here as they want. You know, I get more joy looking out the window, seeing people out here checking it out than anything.
Look at all the things in there.
It's Christmas in there.
Whoa.
Basinet is reaping the joy her small fairy house is bringing to strangers. Strangers who the fairies are turning into friends.
It's how we make it through. I think we lift each other up, and in a time like today, we all need that. We need something that's gonna boost our morale, make us feel happy.
It means a lot that someone just would go through the trouble, you know, to put so much work and love into something that brings joy to other people in the community.
In a time of we're living today, we all need all this joy that we can get.
Bye.
Love that. Beth McAvoy with that story. By the way, in case you were wondering, Asher's mother says her son is expected to live a long and full life. His family is looking forward to a day in which he won't need supplemental oxygen. In the meantime, he has no plans to stop visiting that fairy house. And who could blame him, Rob?
I have to commend the detail that went into it. I just, the first time you see it, the moment you see it, you say, that is really cool.
Yeah, it is impressive, the work she put into that. That's so cool.